CHELLANAM is a calm coastal village and a suburb of serene beauty, a cultural and historic landmark of Kochi in the southwest border of the district, connecting Ernakulam and Alappur districts. It's complete with rich and eye-capturing beach, associated harbour, greenery, fields, plantations, everything in the almost 17-18 kilometers of shore length. The panchayat has a total population of almost 16,000, mostly belong to the working class and farming community, mainly into daily labour work. Main vocation of the families in the village is intricately intertwined with various facets of fisheries, along with agriculture, aquaculture, etc., with relatively modest living conditions. Being a narrow coastal strip of land between the sea and Vembanad backwaters, the village had multiple waterways and channels for stabilizing the seawater influx from the seaside and freshwater influx from the backwater side. But quite recently, they've been a topic of constant discussions. It has been infamously given the title of the worst coastal erosion affected area in Kerala. A few studies have reported that the erosion of CHELLANAM coast intensified after the construction of the Kochi seaport in 1926 and the subsequent dredging by the Cochin port, including the outer channel deepening. So obviously this did not happen overnight. It was rather a very gradual and predictable outcome, and still thousands of people were subject to its dire consequences. And apparently every year sea erosions leave the land with floods and ruination of atrocious severity. Minor erosions are common in the beaches of 580-kilometer coastline of Kerala during southwest and northeast monsoon months. What happens during this time, that is, during May to September and in December and January, is rather interesting. The high-energy storm waves pull the sediments and soil away from the shore, and as soon as the monsoon is over, the low-energy regular waves gradually bring back the eroded soil and sediments. This goes on cyclically, and this erosion accretion ensures the intactness of the beach and hence that equilibrium. Here comes the Cochin seaport. The shipping channel for the port disrupts the cycle. The channel is being dredged regularly to maintain its depth. The sand and sediments from CHELLANAM gets trapped in the channel, and this later on gets dredged and deposited in the deep sea. This sand and sediments do not return back from there, and this in fact changes the sand movement ecosystem and causes erosion. As the shipping channel's depth increases, the intensity of the erosion also increases. As the depth of the channel went on from the initial 5 meter to 10 meter and then to the reported 15.6 meter, that was later found to be 20 meter by the locals and concerned responsible ones, more and more sand from CHELLANAM coast gets trapped in the channel. Do you know what that means? More dredging and depositing the deep sea, and this once hitting the coast, erosions aggravate. And that's what we have been seeing happening to the coast of CHELLANAM through these recent years. So the management of Cochin port playing a significant role in controlling the erosion. But it solely doesn't do all the harm. In addition to all these, the fishing harbour in CHELLANAM also puts in its work in contributing to this erosion scenario. According to the National Centre for Coastal Research, the harbour stops the natural movement of sand towards the north, and this in turn deprives CHELLANAM coast of its sediments once again. On taking a closer look, it's understood that the harbour, having two 150-meter long breakwaters, block the sand and sediment transportation to the north, and this results in a balance. The sediments and soil gets deposited on the south. These do not traverse much, hence there ain't no erosion on that side. But the opposite happens on the northern side, and those areas experience severe erosion. Severe might even be an understatement considering how devastating the past few years' consequences of the erosions were. Waves overtopping and flooding becoming a norm of the monsoon days, which hurls large seawall stones and tons of water directly hitting the houses, damaging them irreparably. They lose their homes on a yearly basis, and we almost know exactly why it happens and why it keeps on happening. We just have to find ways to safeguard the lives of 10 to 15,000 people.